I can't shake the feeling of cold fingers around my throat. Every night, I wake up gasping for air, my heart racing. It's been years, but the memory of what happened on that cursed farm still haunts me. They say time heals all wounds, but some things are too terrible to forget. This is the story of the Bell Witch. And let me tell you, it's no fairy tale. This really happened. It all started when I was just a boy. My family lived not far from the Bell Farm in Tennessee. The year was 1817. Back then, we didn't have much, but we were happy. My father would work the land, and I'd help him as best as I could. We were neighbors with John Bell and his family. They were good people, hard workers, and honest folk. But something dark settled over their home, something that changed all our lives forever. People in town started talking about strange things happening at the Bell house. At first, it was just little things. A knock on the door with no one there, strange noises in the night. But it got worse. Much worse. My father told me to stay away, but I couldn't help myself. I had to see it with my own eyes. The first time I went to the Bell farm after the rumors started, I felt it. The air was thick, heavy, like something was watching me. I remember the animals were restless. The horses wouldn't stop stomping their hooves, and the dogs were barking at nothing. It was as if they could sense it too. I found John Bell sitting on his porch, his eyes hollow and his hands trembling. He was a strong man, but whatever was in that house had broken him. He didn't say much, just stared out into the distance, lost in his thoughts. Mrs. Bell, usually so warm and kind, looked pale and sickly. I didn't stay long, but that night, I heard the stories from others who had been inside. They said it started with the children. Betsy, the youngest, would scream in the middle of the night. She said she felt something pulling her hair, slapping her face. But when her parents rushed into the room, there was no one there. Then it started talking. A voice, harsh and cold, would whisper in the dark. At first it was just mumbles, but soon it became clear, mocking them, threatening them. The voice said it was a witch, and it hated John Bell. It said it wouldn't stop until he was dead. The family tried to fight back, but what can you do against something you can't see? They prayed, they called for help, but nothing worked. The voice got louder, the attacks got worse. One night I couldn't take it anymore. I sneaked out and headed to the Bell farm. I had to know if the stories were true. The sky was dark, no moon, no stars, just an endless black. As I got closer to the house, I heard it. A low, angry growl like a wild animal. My heart pounded in my chest, but I kept going. When I reached the house, everything was quiet. Too quiet. I walked up to the door, but before I could knock, it flew open on its own. I froze, my breath caught in my throat. Inside, the house was dark, but I could feel something there, something evil. I stepped inside, and that's when I heard it. A voice, cold and cruel, whispering my name. I don't know how it knew me, but it did. The voice laughed, a terrible, mocking laugh that echoed through the house. Then, without warning, I felt a sharp pain across my face, like someone had slapped me. But no one was there. I ran out of that house as fast as I could, but the voice followed me, laughing, taunting me, until I was back on my own land. After that night, I refused to go near the Bell farm. But the stories kept coming. They said the witch grew stronger, tormenting the family day and night. John Bell got sicker, and no doctor could help him. The voice would call out to him, telling him his time was near. And then, one day, he was gone. The witch had kept her promise. After John Bell's death, the voice finally quieted down. But the damage was done. The family was broken, and the town was never the same. People moved away, scared that the witch might come for them next. My family stayed, but we never talked about it. Some things are better left in the past. But I know the truth. I saw it. I felt it. The Bell Witch is real, and she's still out there, waiting. So if you ever find yourself in Tennessee and you hear a whisper in the dark, don't listen. Don't go looking for her. Some stories aren't meant to be told.